Welcome everybody. We want to take an opportunity here to introduce you to Kirk Zeller. Kirk has kindly let us display his cars from his collaborative exhibition collection that he owns. And so we have a lot of cars in the display right now as part of the grand showcase here right behind our front desk, showcasing the collaborative works, largely featuring Gruppo Bertone, a really interesting Italian company, started in the early 1900s with Giovanni Bertone. Really kind of made a splash into the scene when his son Nuccio Bertone got involved with the design and sales of cars in the late 40s, early 50s. Kind of post-war, like many companies, were very progressive. So, getting ready to talk a little bit more about that with Kirk.
Yeah, so Bertone, as mentioned, started in the early 1900s, and it started in an era where a lot of the wealthy folks would order a car chassis and then have a coach maker custom make a car for that chassis, and that's exactly how Bertone started. And Bertone eventually evolved to start making a lot of cars and a lot of concept cars. And when his son Nuccio Bertone started to be very involved in the business, it took a little bit of a different direction into some very unique limited production cars and concept cars. So oftentimes they'd be commissioned to develop a new concept car for a manufacturer, and sometimes it would go into production, and other times they wouldn't. And the cars that we have here, a lot of them are very low production build cars by Bertone for other manufacturers, such as Volvo, Alfa Romeo, Fiat. They did cars for Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Ferrari. Did a lot of the iconic Lamborghini designs. The Countach, the Miura were in fact designed by the house of Bertone. So there's a lot of cars out there. A lot of people would be familiar with a lot of the Bertone designs, but have probably never seen one.
Yeah. Well, and even recently, there's been a lot more cars that people are familiar with, like the Ferrari Dinos coming up on auctions here, even in the United States within the last few months. The Bertone exhibition here and really showcasing this, you mentioned coach building and car styling, and really Bertone embraces, especially once Nuccio got involved, more of that car styling customization versus a coach builder. Other really highly reputable, well-known manufacturers such as Rolls-Royce, Packard here in the United States, it was very common for them to work with coach builders in their time. Hooper Coach Bodies comes to mind that worked with Rolls-Royce quite regularly. We have a Hooper body Rolls-Royce in the museum as well. We also have an example of a Packard that has a Bowman and Schwartz body. So it was not uncommon to have, like Kirk mentioned, these car stylers, coach builders to work with very high-end, very reputable quality manufacturers out there.
Absolutely, absolutely, and a lot of great cars have come out of that. Including one that's sitting behind us here. This is a replica of the Carrabbo, one of the Bertone designs. Only one was actually made, and a few hundred replicas were made. Some of the other ones that were common posters, as we were growing up, would be the Lancia Stratos. NF was one of the craziest designs. It's really commonly seen on posters. Lamborghini Miura, the Lamborghini Bravo. I mean, there's loads and loads of designs that we've never actually seen them on the road, but you'd recognize them because we had Matchbox cars or we had posters of them. And Bertone had a huge influence on auto design, in general. I mean, there's a lot of cars that you'll see a decade or two later when you kind of look at them closely. You're like, wait a second, that was kind of emulating a Bertone design that came out, some time ago. And you see a lot of their designs from the 60s and 70s, look like they could have rolled off the assembly line today.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the most interesting aspects of these collaborative car works, is that it allows companies like Gruppo Bertone, the Bertone house, to be very, very progressive and out-of-the-box thinkers. And like you say, they have these very timeless designs where even currently they look like something that could roll off of any assembly line around the world right now, or come out of a custom built house for auto design. So it really gives us a really wonderful glimpse into this world and open the conversation for more about how influential car styling, coach building has been in the automotive world. So So we hope you guys will come on back. We're going to do another video up here for you shortly as far as going a little bit more into detail about the cars as part of Kirk's collaborative exhibitions collection, and we'll give you guys a little bit more information there.
So if you guys are rolling down the Interstate 80 for any reason, the museum is still open, and they're taking a lot of precautions to make it safe for visitors. And it's a very spacious space, which right now they're limiting to only 10 visitors at a time. So if you rolling down the interstate, need to stretch your legs, and like to see some interesting cars, here's the place.
Yeah, come on out and see us. Like you said, 50,000 square feet. We can really allow for that social distancing even while you're in the museum. So hope to see you soon.